Hi, this is Mike from thesubstream.com, and I'd like to talk about Michael Mann's Public Enemies. I've been to film school for 7 years, so I'm fully, absolutely qualified to review this film. My diploma, if you send in an email request, I can have a copy of my diploma sent to you. If you need some reassurance that my opinions are artistically, critically valid, or you can just take my word for it. Michael Mann's Depression-era gangster flick stars Johnny Depp as John Dillinger and Marion Cotillard as his gun mall girl squeeze, Billy Frechette. And on the cops' side of the cops and robbers divide, he's hunted down by Melvin Purvis, who's played by Christian Bale. The film is everything that you'd expect from a Michael Mann film, certainly from one from the latter part of his high-def phase of his career. It's a stylish, technical marvel that absolutely drips authenticity. Everything about the film just shouts confidence and elan. The periodicity of the film is really, really well handled, and the film is completely awash with absolutely perfect, tiny period detail that help the fedora and Tommy gun and what are you gonna do see accent-laden story just seem effortless. It's spectacular in every sense of the word, and it's pretty to look at from start to finish, and it's innovative and compelling and fresh all the way through, and it's thoroughly the work of filmmakers that are operating at the absolute top of their technical game. Every single performance in the film is absolutely top-notch, too. It's incredible, and that may be kind of, I guess, not the hardest thing in the world to do when you can manage to get yourself a cast put together where people like Lily Taylor or Lily Sobieski or Giovanni Ribisi are willing to come by the set for a day or three to film a really kind of small part. But it's Cotillard and Depp that truly shine. Depp is all cold confidence. It's a new gangster thing. It's not bravado, it's just lizard stillness. And it works so well that the admittedly cliche gangster nugget at the heart of the story, where Joe Tough Guy swoops into a nightclub and sees a pretty girl and walks over to her and says, "Listen here, you're going to be my girl, see, and I'm going to give you a fur and big promises and we're going to be together," and immediately somehow wins her heart and loyalty forever just based on 1 or 2 days of adventure, makes it actually kind of work. And that's based purely off of the performances of Cotillard and Depp. Depp's infinite still charm and Cotillard's shocked fascination. They're great. They're great. All of that said, though, Public Enemies, even if it's a technical piece of brilliance with incredible performances, it still somehow, in the end of the equation, feels heartless and without juice. Depp's character isn't exactly a cipher, but he seems to lack a real legitimate motivating drive. I mean, he loves his girl and he loves money and he loves adventure, but that's about it. And the most interesting part of the Dillinger story, how this brutal, nasty, vicious, relentless bank robber dude was managed to be transformed by the culture into a hero due to the grave economic times that people were going through, is kind of referenced somewhat obliquely by the film, but mostly just ignored in favor of telling the much smaller story of Frechette and Dillinger. They've chosen to make a big story with big historic names, real names of real people, in a real moment, an important moment in American history, with real big important actors, a small, intimate story with incredibly big action set pieces, but ultimately it's a small story about a man and a woman. But that kind of feels uncomfortable somehow, like the film has had the stuffing ripped out of it. Christian Bale as Melvin Purvis, the FBI officer who eventually hunts Dillinger down, is shown to be this incredibly moral dude, upright, upstanding, wanting to protect people and bring him to justice. And he's forced to do these incredibly heinous things in the name of doing his job. And we see the effect that has on him on Bale's face. This is another great performance in this film that's full of them. But the film never shows us Purvis outside of his role as the relentless pursuer of Dillinger. We never see him go home. We never see him undress out of the FBI suit that he wears. And all it really does is just kind of nudge you and remind you and imply and hint that there's incredibly vast, untapped story potential there in this film that's just kind of going by in favor of telling other stories. And that doesn't do anything negative to that film, Public Enemies, itself. It's not an inherent failure. It just helps to kind of give it a sense that while it's incredibly polished technically, while it's innovative and forward-looking, while it's pretty and it's full of really, really good performances and absolutely shockingly well-handled period detail, it's ultimately kind of hollow and a little bit unsatisfying. And I give it a 7.9 out of 10. But what do I know? Seriously.